Picture this. A falcon circles high above its prey, perfectly still, waiting. The rabbit below has no idea death hovers overhead. Then, in one explosive moment, a 300-mile-per-hour dive, talons extended, strike completed. The hunt is over before the prey even knew it began. Sun Tzu watched this deadly precision and declared, "The quality of decision is like the well-timed swoop of a falcon, which enables it to strike and destroy its victim." Today, you're about to discover the most dangerous weapon in any strategist's arsenal, the power of perfect timing, and why most people fail in life because they never mastered this ancient art. I'm here to teach you the tactical principles that separate the hunters from the hunted, the victors from the defeated. This isn't just about warfare, this is about escaping the mental prison that keeps you reacting instead of dominating. Sun Tzu understood that victory isn't about strength or resources, it's about timing. The falcon doesn't hunt because it's the biggest bird, it hunts because it masters the moment of perfect execution. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to weaponize timing like history's greatest strategists, and why this single principle can transform every area of your life. Let's decode what Sun Tzu really meant by comparing decisions to a falcon's strike. This isn't surface-level advice, it's a complete philosophy of power. First, understand the falcon's nature. These birds don't just attack randomly, they exhibit what experts call self-restraint, the ability to hold back until the precise moment when success is guaranteed. They study their prey's patterns, wait for the perfect vulnerability, then strike with overwhelming force at exactly the right instant. Sun Tzu saw three critical elements in this behavior that every strategist must master. Perfect preparation. The falcon doesn't hunt when it's hungry, it hunts when conditions align. It studies wind patterns, prey behavior, terrain advantages. Similarly, strategic leaders prepare extensively before acting. They gather intelligence, position resources, and create multiple contingencies. Decisive timing. There's a psychological moment in every conflict, negotiation, or opportunity where conditions shift in your favor. Most people miss this window because they're either too early or too late. The falcon strikes precisely when the prey is most exposed and least able to escape. As Sun Tzu wrote, therefore, the good fighter will be terrible in his onset and prompt in his decision. The profound truth here is about energy conservation and explosive release. Sun Tzu compared this to a crossbow. You build tension slowly, then release it all at once with devastating precision. Most people waste their energy in constant low-level activity. Strategic thinkers conserve their power, then unleash it at the decisive moment. History's greatest strategists mastered this falcon-like precision, and their victories prove its devastating effectiveness. Napoleon Bonaparte understood timing better than any commander in history. At Austerlitz in 1805, he deliberately weakened his right flank, making his army appear vulnerable. He waited as the Austrian and Russian armies committed to attacking what they thought was his weakness. Then, at the precise psychological moment when enemy forces were overextended, Napoleon struck with his concealed reserves at the enemy's center, splitting their army in two. One perfectly timed decision destroyed two empires' armies in a single day. Alexander the Great at Gaugamela demonstrated falcon-like precision. He studied Darius's massive Persian army and identified one critical vulnerability. If Darius fled, the entire Persian force would collapse. Alexander waited through the entire battle, absorbing casualties, until the exact moment when Darius was isolated. Then he led his companion cavalry in a direct charge at the Persian king. Darius fled, and Alexander's perfectly timed strike won the entire empire. Hannibal at Cannae showed the ultimate falcon strike. He deliberately weakened his center, allowing 80,000 Romans to push forward, thinking they were winning. Hannibal waited until the Romans were completely committed and trapped in his formation. Then, his wings closed like a falcon's talons, encircling and annihilating the entire Roman army. 16 Roman legions destroyed by perfect timing. Even Admiral Nelson at Trafalgar embodied this principle. His ship, Victory, drifted toward the French fleet for several minutes, absorbing cannon fire without returning a single shot. His officers begged him to fire back, but Nelson waited. Only when he was at point-blank range did he unleash a devastating broadside that crippled multiple enemy ships simultaneously. Perfect restraint followed by overwhelming force. This ancient wisdom translates directly to modern dominance. Let me show you how to apply falcon-like timing today. In business and career, Steve Jobs mastered this principle. When Apple launched the iPhone in 2007, it wasn't first to market with smartphones. Jobs waited and watched competitors struggle with clunky interfaces and poor user experience. Then he struck at the perfect moment with a product so superior that it eliminated the competition overnight. He studied the market like a falcon studies prey, then delivered one devastating strike that changed entire industries. Jeff Bezos applied this at Amazon. He didn't rush into every market simultaneously. Instead, he established dominance in books, then expanded methodically, first to CDs, then electronics, then everything else. Each expansion was timed precisely when Amazon had built the infrastructure and customer trust necessary for success. Like a falcon, Bezos conserved resources for perfectly timed strikes into new territories. In relationships and negotiations, most people negotiate by immediately stating their position. Strategic negotiators study the other party first. What pressures are they under? What deadlines drive them? What do they really need versus what they're asking for? Then they wait for the moment when the other party is most motivated to close and make their move. In personal development, instead of constantly hustling without direction, strategic people identify the specific skills, connections, or opportunities that would create disproportionate results. They focus their energy on building towards those precise moments rather than spreading effort everywhere. Like the falcon, they prepare extensively, then strike decisively when the conditions align. Here's how to develop falcon-like timing systematically. Develop strategic patience. Most people confuse urgency with importance. Start by identifying what you're trying to achieve, then study the patterns and cycles in your target area. Markets have cycles. People have behavioral patterns. Organizations have predictable decision-making processes. Map these patterns like a falcon studies prey movement. Build your strike capacity. While you're waiting for the right moment, build your capability to execute decisively. This means developing skills, accumulating resources, building relationships, and creating strategic advantages. The falcon doesn't hunt when it's weak, it hunts when it's at peak capability. Recognize the decisive moment. Learn to identify psychological moments when conditions shift in your favor. In business, this might be when a competitor makes a mistake, when market conditions change, or when a decision maker faces pressure. In relationships, it's when someone is most receptive to influence. Execute with total commitment. When the moment arrives, commit completely. Half-hearted strikes fail. Sun Tzu emphasized that the good fighter is terrible in his onset because they understand that decisive moments don't come often. When you strike, use overwhelming force to ensure success. Study your failures. Every missed opportunity teaches timing lessons. Keep a decision journal. When did you act too early? Too late? What signals did you miss? The falcon's success rate is over 80% because it learns from every hunt. The difference between those who dominate and those who are dominated isn't talent, resources, or luck. It's timing. While others waste their energy in constant motion, strategic thinkers conserve their power for the decisive moment. While others react to circumstances, falcon-minded leaders create and control the moments that matter. Master this principle and you join the ranks of history's great strategic minds. You stop being at the mercy of circumstances and start creating the conditions for your inevitable victory. Your challenge is to identify one area of your life where you've been acting without strategic timing. Study the patterns, build your capability, wait for the decisive moment, then strike like the falcon. Swift, certain and devastating. Remember Sun Tzu's warning. Energy may be likened to the bending of a crossbow, decision to the releasing of a trigger. Are you building energy for your decisive moment, or are you firing blanks into the wind? The hunt begins now. Will you be the falcon, or will you be the prey that never saw the strike coming? Like this video if you're ready to master the art of perfect timing, subscribe for more ancient wisdom that creates modern dominance, and comment below. What's one opportunity you're preparing to strike on with falcon-like precision?